Hey, Elwood Willard and I are going to be talking Masters in just a couple of moments, but we're at the club at Shadow Lakes, and you see this, the daily planner for 2018. They're ready to take your reservation for your golf outing, and of course, the greatest public course in our region, as they're getting revved up for another great golf season here at the club at Shadow Lakes. I also want to remind you, I love Dick's Sporting Goods and who they are, and of course, Golf Galaxy, and Mr. Stack and I and that great brand go way back, and I told you earlier today that their golf-a-thon is underway. Of course, we have a great store at the Beaver Valley Mall, but they're throughout the region and the corporate headquarters in Robinson Township. But names like Tommy Armour, Callaway, Nike, Titleist, Top Flight, TaylorMade, FootJoy, Adidas, Lifestyle Golf Apparel, Walter Hagen, and Odyssey are all there. DickSportingGoods.com to find the store nearest you. Now, here we go. Top moments in Masters history. Jack Burke Jr., 33-year-old pro who hadn't won a tournament since 1953, went into the final round trailing 24-year-old amateur Ken Venturi, went on to become a great broadcaster by 8 shots in the biggest Masters comeback ever. Burke shot 71 to beat Venturi, who shot an 80. In only the second Masters tournament, 1935, great name out of the past, Gene Saracen, who began the final round 3 strokes behind Greg Wood, holed a 235-yard double eagle on 15 to tie. He then moved into the lead when Wood bogeyed 16, held the lead through 17, but then watched as Wood birdied 18 to regain a tie and set things up for a Monday shootout. On Monday, Saracen beat Woods by 5 strokes in the only 36-hole playoff in Masters history. 2001, in one of the tightest final rounds in Masters history, Tiger Woods, David Duval, and Phil Mickelson battled back and forth for the lead. Tiger went on to win, finishing with a 20-foot birdie on 18 to beat David Duval by 2 shots and Mickelson by 3. 1966, Jack Nicklaus, a young Golden Bear, only 26, became the first player to win 2 Masters titles in a row. He began the final round tied with Tommy Jacobs. In a 3-way tie, 18-hole playoff, Nicklaus and Jacobs were tied after the first 9, with Gabe Brewer trailing in the distance. Jack pulled ahead by 2 shots by shooting par over the next 3 holes. 1997, who can forget? Tiger Woods became the youngest player ever to win the green jacket. His 270 topped the previous mark of 271 set by Jack Nicklaus in 1965. 1958, with the largest crowd in Masters history, Latrobe native, our favorite son from Western Pennsylvania, the King, Arnold Palmer, scored a dramatic eagle on an 18-foot putt on the par 5 13th to virtually ensure the win. 1975, Jack Nicklaus led by 5 after the first 2 rounds, but Tom Weiskopf came roaring back on Saturday with a 66, which gave him a 1-shot lead going into the final round. But a young Johnny Miller had an amazing 3rd round, setting a record with 6 consecutive birdies, ending the day with a 65. The 3 battled through the final 18 as the Golden Bear 1-stroke lead held as he watched Weiskopf and Miller both miss birdie putts for ties on 18. 2004, finally, lefty Phil Mickelson, who had 3 consecutive third-place finishes at the Masters, finally broke through for his first green jacket. He also became only the 4th player to win the Masters with a birdie on the final hole. 1987, Augusta native Larry Mize drilled a 6-foot birdie on 18 to qualify for a playoff against Seve Ballesteros and Greg Norman. Mize sunk an extraordinary 140-foot pitch to beat Norman. The chip shot bounced 2 or 3 times, then rolled 50 feet into the cup. 1986, Jack Nicklaus, who hadn't won a tour victory since 1984, shot a record 30 on the back 9 to pass Greg Norman, Tom Kite, Nick Price, Tom Watson, and Seve Ballesteros. At the age of 46, he won his 6th green jacket. Truly, for my money, one of the greatest moments in sports history of all time. Names like, as I mentioned, Tommy Armour, Callaway, Nike, Titleist, Top Flight, TaylorMade, FootJoy, Adidas, Lifestyle Golf Apparel, Walter Hagen, Odyssey, Dick's Sporting Goods. Check it out. No one does a better job. The Golf-a-thon. So you know spring and golf season is here when it's the Dick's Sporting Goods Golf-a-thon. Don't forget, throughout the week, Masters updates on KDKA Radio. They'll be talking a lot about it on 93.7 The Fan. And Coons Quality Foods, our sportscast, Rob Pratte and you, Saturday and Sunday morning. More Masters updates, of course, and the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. Elwood Willard and I next with more on the Masters from the club at Shadow Lakes. Good evening.